And welcome back from our commercial break.
Yeah, welcome back.
Wasn't me. Don't you blame it on me.
No, I was saying you started talking before it actually started rolling, so they only heard a little bit about what you said.
I said welcome back from our commercial break.
Yep. So sorry about the pause, but you just saw on the last episode that part one. This will be part two because I don't know how to edit video together. So.
No. We're working with a cell phone here, folks.
Yeah, we are special. So
very little brain power.
So we were talking about the Brood and
Wyatts.
The Wyatts. Is there any other mashups like that you think you would like to see this guy make? Because I thought it was pretty cool, just the concept of him doing it. And I'll tell you what, it literally just popped in my head. And please don't laugh at me when I pitch this because it's gonna be horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know if like entrance wise would be cool.
Can I try to guess what it is before you do it?
Yes.
The Lumberjack versus Doink the Clown, considering it was the same person.
Big Josh.
Yeah.
That could be fun. But that was not what I was thinking about.
My bad.
I was thinking like maybe not interest wise, but if you could do some kind of skit where like maybe you could see like Repo Man heading to Repo's Spark Plugs race car. That'd be funny.
I thought you was gonna say to go get the golf cart of his golf character. I would like to see PM News meet Mabel.
No, you wouldn't.
And Man on a Mission.
You wouldn't
yes,
like
I would
to see
because
that.
it's just such a horrible damn combination.
No, it'd be cool if they mixed it in with the Big Show and the Akibono guys sumo thing, so they kind of spun all that together. That'd be kind of cool. I want to see Big Show versus Yoko in the sumo gear.
Oh my God.
Let's mix that up. That'd be awesome.
Bonsai.
Yeah. No, in reality, like if I was thinking of something that could kind of be cool, I really don't know. Like maybe if you did something with like.
So I got another one. I would do Steve Austin versus Stunning Steve Austin.
That could be cool.
But as far as a match goes, I would love to see, because it never happened, I doubt it ever will happen, but The Undertaker and Sting.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'll tell you what I think would be cool would be Breezango. If he could do something with them versus like the Hollywood Blondes. Like, that could kind of be fun.
Now, if I did my Sting versus Undertaker, it's going to be Surfer Sting, not Crow Sting.
See, I think I'm going to throw Joker Sting out there.
I like Joker Sting.
Because, I mean, the Undertaker is the master of the mind games and all that. And
that's true.
If Insane Sting showed up, I think it would almost play, play in reverse to where the Undertaker would be the guy that's had the mind games played on him.
And then the Undertaker takes his wig off and it's him with a mohawk.
And the American Badass!
So, there's too many. You think about these guys, the different versions they've had now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too many, man. But, hey, they had to keep their gimmick going.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't evolve it, you get fired.
I mean, Sting's fixing to be at our Comic-Con in a couple of weeks up here in Mississippi.
You gonna go?
I hadn't decided yet. I may have to work that day. That's why I said I don't
I've met Sting and I've paid him for his autograph before, so that part isn't.
Gotcha.
It's my kid's birthday that day, so I may take him and let him meet Sting.
That could be cool.
So I think that'd be cool for him.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know.
You gotta paint your face.
Oh, for sure. That's an
Sting!
idea. It's Sting! I'm gonna dress up like Gary Michael Capetta and let my kid dress up like Sting. It's Sting! Gary Michael Capetta is probably my favorite ring announcer. Who's your favorite ring announcer? That's what I want to know. Who's yours? Jay Andrews? Who's
Actually, but I'd go with the Fink.
Classic.
I mean, honestly, the Fink. The guy, he was a little bitty guy to me, and it didn't really look like his voice should come out of that body.
Right.
But no, it's the Fink. Honestly,
I dig it. I don't hate on that. I wonder if we could get the dude to make a Fink versus Gary Michael Capetta. That'd be awesome. That's a dream match right there. I mean, Fink has been in a tuxedo match, right?
He was. I forgot about that. God.
The winner gets to ring announce Shotgun Saturday Night.
Well, speaking of stuff you've seen on TV, you did get to watch The Dark Side of the Ring?
I did. it had Deathmatch Wrestling
Yes.
with Nick Gage,
Nick Gage.
right?
Did you feel like it belonged in the wrestling part?
Explain.
Or do you think it should have been? I mean, it's still some people still say it's wrestling, but it's. I've did death matches. I've did 3 of them, but in all honesty, it damn near wasn't wrestling.
I wish
It damn near steps into almost UFC style. Almost.
I
Don't
wish
get me-
it would have
don't get
been
me
more
wrong on that.
about Deathmatch Wrestling and less about Nick Gage.
Yeah, because I really.
I mean, I could have got behind the concept of this underground kind of movement versus
I wish it would have been on multiple people and not just him.
right. That I guess that's my
Yeah, I can see
my
what you're saying.
thing.
'Cause I
And I
guess-
think the main reason is because he's probably the biggest name in
Right
deathmatch
now,
wrestling.
yeah.
Yeah, right now. And just the fact that in reality, if you look back and you go, okay, we want to do this darker side of someone. If you factor in the drugs and the bank robbery and jail time
I
and
understood the story.
his brother killing himself and that kind of thing, like there is a story there.
It was just
So
so bad, man. It was damn near as bad as watching Von Erichs. Man, there were times like I didn't want to cry, but I'm just like, this poor son of a bitch. Like, good God, please. Like, it's got to get better.
yeah, like my thought was, and I think this is, and I hate to agree with Jim Cornette because I'm about to bash Jim Cornette.
It's what it is.
It definitely painted wrestling into a bad view from those who don't watch wrestling. Like, oh, I told you, all those
Yeah.
wrestlers are just drug addicts and stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like it fell back to 80s and stuff where everybody was on drugs, and I don't think that's the case nowadays.
And that's why a lot of people didn't like the movie The Wrestler. You know,
but-
I know a bunch of people didn't like it.
So I'm
just
going to
'cause of
agree
that.
with Cornette on that.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, Cornette's like, if you do this kind of wrestling, you're a scumbag, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you realize, like, so many people have done these that, like, Cornette was basically saying Terry Funk's a scumbag, trash
just
bagger, they
jack
don't know what they're
everybody
doing,
else,
I mean, I don't think these guys set out and go, I mean, some do,
Yeah.
because Nick Gage said, that's all he ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think guys just do them just to try to get somewhere else.
I did it out of more or less curiosity.
Yeah, and
in
that's
all
the
honesty.
thing.
I did 3, and if you offer me to do one right now, you got to toss some major money to get me to do it.
So I do believe that there is a market for deathmatch wrestling. I don't think that everybody who does it is untrained and blah blah blah. Because one of my all-time favorites is a deathmatch guy, Sick Nick
Nick
Mondo.
Mondo.
Huge fan of his.
I've seen a couple.
And,
We've had a couple of documentaries. on
Dude
him.
could work. He chose to do those type of matches not because he had to, but because he chose to. And I think Cornette looks at it like, oh, if you're doing this, you know what you're doing. But if you go back and watch a lot of the stuff that Cornette's been involved with, you go, well, that stuff is just as bad as this. You know what I mean?
At one point, he wanted to have a match with Jake the Snake that where the ring was surrounded by snakes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So how's that any damn different
well, I
than a
mean,
death match?
and think about it. Like, Cornette was one of the first people that I can remember being involved in a match where you took a bump that you could have died from.
Oh, the scalpel
The
match.
scalpel
by
match.
far,
So,
yeah.
I mean, you're bashing these people, but yet you planted the seed for these matches to happen. So I mean, like, you can't say, oh, these trash bag pieces of shits, and then you're like, oh, but I fell off a scaffold, and I think New Jack's
Blew
great
off
because
both
he
knees.
jumped off
Yeah.
balconies and stabbed people. I mean,
He does talk about both sides.
he
of the
does,
mouth.
and that's my biggest thing. But of course, Cornette only talks about stuff he thinks is going to get people stirred up.
No, just views.
Because it gets views, and which is
That's
the same reason I'm kind of bashing Jim Cornette. So I'm stealing a little bit of his thunder.
Now he tries to deny that that's why he does
Yeah.
it, but I can lie too. I'm not a fat white guy.
Well,
I'm a fat white guy.
He's a worker.
Okay, I understand. Me too.
So, but I don't know, man. Like the Cornette thing just rubbed me wrong because you can't group everybody into one thing, especially when you potentially, I'm not gonna say he planted a seed,
No,
but
'cause the scalpel
potentially,
match is older
right?
than he is.
But potentially you
But he was involved in several.
were involved in a match that should be considered
I mean,
trash wrestling, which is what you're talking about.
in a way, cage matches are, ladder
Yeah.
matches are, but they're pushing it with the glass and
Right.
needles
I mean,
and razor blades
but
and all this
again,
other crap.
if you're jumping off scaffolds in
I agree.
1984, what
Dude,
did
I
you
got
think
hit in
was
the
going to
head
happen?
with bamboo, whatever the hell that stuff was Cody had made up.
So, I mean, you know, like he should be considered like the, you know, one of the, you know, grandfathers of deathmatch wrestling, because
Yeah, no way.
he did a stupid stunt to get views.
That's
I
true.
mean, what? How else can you explain a scalpel match?
You can.
Stupid
It's a gimmick
stunt.
to get people in the seats.
Mud show wrestling. So in a way, Cornette should be like
Yeah.
the mayor of mud show wrestling. I mean, the only thing's missing from death matches is a guy coming out of a cardboard box dressed like Frankenstein or something. I mean, you know, and he'll say, yeah, but we done that because the Money Mark wanted it. Well, it's the same difference.
As long as they
You
get
know.
money, man, that's the part that matters.
Put it on a pole, bring it out of a box, throw it through exploding barbed wire. I mean, it's all kind of the same thing.
As far as the show went, did you think the story was at least decent?
I enjoyed it from a spectator point of view.
Yeah.
I just really wish that it would have been more about deathmatch and less about Nick Gage. I mean, that's my only complaint, and simply because I'm not a huge fan of. Like I said, well, I'm not a huge fan. I don't know Nick Gage.
No,
Never really got into his stuff.
No.
The few times I did get into deathmatch wrestling and stuff, that was probably the times he was in jail, so it wasn't based around him.
Like, I liked Nicaroo Butcher. You liked Nick Mondo.
Right. I
I
mean,
like Wife Beater. He was actually a good wrestler before he got into that stuff.
and then the fact that, like, hey, I love this so much that I got so drugged out of it and showed up and couldn't perform. Like, to me, you know,
I know, man, but it shined a light on a lot of stuff. Like, the promoter didn't come out looking like an angel. Nobody in this show come out just with a shining grin on their face.
right.
I mean, you got a guy committed suicide at one point in,
Yeah.
in the story.
But now, I didn't know him and Justice Payne were brothers.
I didn't know that either. I mean, that's something I learned.
And
then,
if you look, it's like Justice Payne looked great.
yeah,
He didn't.
but they said he was mentally
Yeah.
messed up. I don't
So-
know. You know, I don't know the man, but that's what they said.
But
And,
overall, I mean, I think it fits in with the whole
oh, the dark side.
dark
Yeah,
side
I
of,
get it,
of
but-
wrestling. I just wish, again, that it wouldn't have been just about him. I did enjoy the things where Mox were on there, and I love the this guy wears a bandana
And the one time he does
to the ring, and the one time he needs a bandana, he doesn't wear it.
help but bust out laughing.
That
And he
was,
goes, yeah, man, I didn't even realize that camera's there, but I sure was looking at it, wasn't
Yeah.
I?
but I did think it was interesting because I had heard the story of the guy getting cut real bad at the deathmatch tournament. You having to get the helicopter and all that.
I didn't realize.
I
it
didn't
was him.
realize it was him.
I thought it was somebody else.
And the insane thing about how we as wrestlers inside this bubble of the show must go on, and he was like, I know I'm about to die, let me back out there. And how insane that is now that I'm kind of outside the wrestling bubble, and where I was in a similar situation to where I dove outside, I did a springboard flip out to the floor. I landed on the guy, and as I come down, I land on his ankle. Didn't break his ankle, I think it was like a fracture or something, but I was like, get your ass in the ring, because I'm just here, I'm not coming back, I'm in this barn, there's 30 people here, most of them are here to see you, you're their guy, you get in.
Yeah.
And I did my best Owen Hart Stone Cold impersonation, where I was arguing with the ref and I fell over the guy and he pinned me, and he didn't want to be in that ring and I was like, get your monkey tail in this ring. You know, get up, quit being a baby, you know, you got to beat me, that's the plan, you know.
Sometimes our brains don't work that well. at
But
the
we
time.
get caught in that bubble, man. Like, bubbles are not
The
good.
only time I ever got carried away is I couldn't walk.
Yeah,
You know, I dislocated my shoulder. I literally put it back in the damn ring.
yeah.
You just
Like
keep
how-
going.
So just to know that he was that brainwashed in wrestling, that he was
No,
like,
he's like-
I'm dying, put me in the ring.
Smart Mark, get this on video that I'm trying to go back to ring and
Yeah.
they won't let me.
Yep.
And he's like, last thing I remember is I got in a helicopter.
Yeah, and he's got this much gauze under his arm. They're trying to stop the bleeding for the helicopter to get there, and then he dies in the helicopter.
Yeah, 7 minutes.
I mean, like, he put the death in death match, you know?
I like Moxley talking about it's supposed to be a gimmick to get you in the door, not to be relived, but now it's part of this guy's legend.
Yeah, so I mean,
he come back.
He had a cool story, and even if they would have played up on more of maybe Nick Gage the wrestler than Nick Gage the person, maybe I would have got behind it more, because just that story of him in this deathmatch tournament, this thumbtack Jack, and this guy came from Germany to face, and blah blah blah, and the cut and the helicopter and
catching on fire.
Yeah, insane stuff, man.
It was. I mean, like I said, I still don't put it with the wrestling. I kind of put it more as like a shock value type.
Of
show
course, that's what deathmatch
right there.
is.
I mean, it's not wrestling. Even the stuff I did, I don't consider wrestling. It was like, what the hell are we really doing? We're hitting each other with shit. That's what we're doing.
I mean, think, instead of a forearm or a back body drop or a body slam, you get a light tube, a baseball bat, and a cookie sheet.
Yeah, barbed wire, volleyball, baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire.
It's all your fault.
The bad part is that shit showed up on my damn Facebook page, like your remembery thing. Showed up like 2 days ago. I was like, ain't this a mother? And we're fixing to talk about this stuff. Yeah, I'm covered in blood and brain damage.
Yeah,
been that way ever since.
What, you forgot 3 days of your life?
3 days. I don't remember nothing. I never went to a doctor.
A barbed wire steel baseball bat to the skull.
If they examined my brain, I hate to imagine what they might tell me. Sir, do you know you? Oh yeah, like 34 scratches and staples and. How's this held together? Well, I used super glue that night, and that was it.
It works.
Yeah.
Just ask Sabu.
But well, see, and that's the thing I went to with him talking about tape it up was when Sabu got hung in the barbed wire that time, and he taped up his damn bicep and finished the match.
Yep, and now that's the he set the bar for something like that. If you get hurt, just tape it up and finish the match. Sabu can do it, I can too.
Yeah.
Well, Sabu can't walk now.
Yes, that's it. Damn near. He's got a good hobble.
I legit saw Sabu get out of a car. This was when WWE had the ECW.
Mm-hmm.
And we were back behind the scenes where everybody was showing up. And 3 or 4 guys showed up, and I don't remember who all was in there. I think it was like Sandman and Rob and Sabu, maybe. I don't remember. But I was talking to Balls Mahoney when he showed up, and he literally couldn't get out of the car hardly. And I mean, he barely made it past us and into the dressing room. But the moment he came out, all that was gone. Like, I mean, did he peel up or what? Who knows? But the fact that wrestlers can turn off the pain for however many minutes.
A lot of it's adrenaline.
You know what I mean? Is amazing that they can do that. Like,
I mean, you got injuries. We're in the ring. Do you feel it?
Dude, I can't walk now.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I know exactly how it
feels. But if you go through the ring and you're in the damn ring,
turn it on,
you turn it on, and the pain goes away.
Yep.
And as soon as it stops, it starts right back.
Yeah, for about 2 hours, and then you die.
And then the next morning, you're like, oh, fuck, why'd I do that?
Oh, bro, I couldn't even get my clothes on before. So sore. Like, there was something about, getting body slammed on the concrete 7 times was a good idea last night.
Taking a backdrop on the dirt.
Yeah. My favorite is when they're like, oh, this stuff's fake. And I'm like, oh, yeah, let's prove them wrong. Should have proved them right.
Yeah. Don't worry, we learned how to fall, but we still walk funny.
What's the stupidest bump you done that was you volunteering it?
That I've done volunteering.
Like it was maybe your idea, like, ooh, let's do this.
That hurt the most?
Whatever.
When I let you put me through a table one time and about knocked my fucking skull off. And you jumped off the balcony thing we had walking out to the old School of Hard Knocks ring.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you jumped off something as high as my car.
Yeah.
And put me through it.
I jumped off a stage.
And I didn't think nothing about the back of my head and that table. And I'd never taken one before, and I found out, it hurts. Table to the back of the head.
I have 3 really, really stupid moments that pop up in my. One was with you. where I dove over the top rope and
Well,
missed.
I still say the referee did that, bro. That
I don't
wasn't
know.
me.
No, I take 100% fault for it because I don't think I called it.
He
I
said
think-
you said move.
I know what he said, but I think he was just trying to make an excuse. I really think that I just saw him bending over, and I was like, "Ooh, it'd be cool to dive over him." And so I did, and I flipped and landed on the ground and peed my pants a little bit and got knocked out. I'm pretty sure of.
And then I gave you a big splash to knock you up.
So that was on the ground. The worst part was like 20 minutes later, I had to come back out and wrestle in the main event because someone didn't show up.
But to this day, I tell you, the referee said boo.
He may have, but
or any other.
I
Have I ever not caught you before?
right. I just don't think I said anything. So that's one. Another one was JD Jenkins' first match. We had done a
The
little
back body
fun day
drop.
thing for a
Yeah.
church, and the match was supposed to be really simple. I was just going to basically go there and take a claw or something from him. And he's like, "Hey, my dad's here, my brothers, and blah blah blah," and like his whole family had came up, and so I wanted to like let him get this yay. So they would talk about him. So we're out on the ground. For some reason, it all involves ground.
I know, I was out there. I watched it.
So I piled some chairs up. I was gonna take a back body drop from him, and as I'm laying them, like his family are moving the chairs. I'm like, screw it, I'll do it anyway. Poop! Yeah, I like to not have got up from that. Like that hurt really, really, really bad.
Because it was been a long summer and there'd been no softness
Yeah.
in the ground, bro.
And then we sell events for birthday parties from time to time,
Mhm.
and we were doing a birthday party for these people. And I thought it would be a cool spot to get backdropped on the ground onto the trailer that we haul the ring on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't work.
That's dumb.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
I guess the one, it really wasn't a bump, but it was a move. The match with Cody before he went
Insane.
mentally challenged on me. I told him in the back, I said, man, let's do the Cactus Jack elbow drop. Well, I was assuming the guy knew how to protect somebody.
He did. He lands
I
on
was wrong. He knew how to squish my face.
you. He lands on you, and it protects him.
Bruh, it hurt. Oh my God.
And I think the other thing I was doing a ladder match,
Mm-hmm.
and
See, mine are
Jeremy-
bumps. Mine are people landing on
Jeremy Awesome
me.
was in that match, as well as Nathan Lawler, the XXL version.
Mhm.
And I had this bright idea for Jeremy to body slam me on top of the ladder,
Yeah.
it sucked.
Yeah.
Then I was like, body slam him on top of me. So he picks up like Nathan Lawler, who I'm going to over exaggerate and say he was 700-800 pounds at least.
No, he's like